I would say that looking at the literature as an object of investigation, as opposed to just weaving a little bit of literature into an essay, is a huge jump for students. And that's why I think the more practice we give them and the more scaffolding we give them in how to develop that critical eye is really useful, because that's essentially the position they need to be adopting when they're writing their literature review. It's a very different thing to throw a few references in an essay than it is to review a whole body of literature. And anything that scaffolds students in that direction is extremely helpful.
When you've got to manipulate the degree of technicality and specialisation in your field with that really, really kind of subtle engagement between your voice and all the other voices, and you're also modelling a really peculiar kind of audience in a way. When it's a thesis, you're still the student, but you're just about to become the world expert. So the textual function in systemic functional linguistics, which is the function of language that brings together the ideas and the relationship between the writer and the reader, control of that is really crucial.
The kinds of instruction that I think are particularly useful to students are ones that go through a range of processes whereby they show students a literature review, they deconstruct that literature review with students, they possibly jointly construct parts of the literature review and provide a lot of support at every step of the way. And one of the pedagogies that does this is called Sydney School genre pedagogy, and it has a very explicit cycle to take students through that never asks students to do any writing of anything till they've shown them very clearly and explicitly how that writing works and unfolds over a text.
It has to be a theory of language that associates the choices that you make in language with the kind of context that you are bringing about through that language. So a theory that can show you what kind of language resources you need to do to compare and contrast, what kind of language resources you need to use to produce a kind of attitude or change your attitude, to engage in different ways with different with different voices. So to reject a view, or to approve of another view. A theory of language that can bring all of that into the one frame is going to be really useful, and students do find it useful. Yeah.